So in order to compare prices from 13 years ago when you retired to now, I have done my research. And by research I mean I watched one of those Ask a Mortician videos, like that woman that I showed you. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you some interesting facts about embalming and all that fun death stuff. Now, embalming. Now this is funny. Formaldehyde is in the top 10% of the Environmental Protection Agency's most hazardous chemicals.
That's right.
Okay, you know that. And I know that you had to wear full body protection when you were embalming. Mom told me that when she saw you embalming. 800,000 gallons of the chemical is used every year. Get your face in there.
That don't matter.
Okay. Fire cremation cuts back on resources. You already know that. However, smoke can contain carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrochloric acid, sulfur dioxide, dioxin, polychlorinated, I can't pronounce that, polychlorinated, another thing I can't pronounce, mercury vapor from tooth fillings, and formaldehyde from previous embalmings.
What, for cremation?
Yeah, if you've already, yeah, that's what
Not
fire...
Anymore. Used to be, but not anymore, because they have environmental retorts now.
In some, yes. In others, no. That's why that's why I like alkaline hydrolysis. And the body, of course, is placed in a cardboard box or a wooden casket. Okay. Now, water and potassium cremation or alkaline hydrolysis. Now this is cool because the water, the body's placed in 95% water and 5% lime or potassium, and it speeds up the decay from a few years to a few hours. And it's heated to 365 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's a lot cheaper and a lot more eco-friendly. It uses 1/8 of the energy from flame cremation, 1/4 of the carbon footprint, no mercury emissions, drastic reduction in greenhouse gases, and it takes up less than 3 days of water for one living person.
Okay.
So, and it's not legal in BC yet, which is the sucky thing. Now, funeral costs. The basic service fee as soon as you step in the door, that's $2,000. Body transport is $325. Embalming is $725. Preparation, makeup, and hair is $250. Management and staff for a viewing is $425. Management for a funeral ceremony is $500. A casket can range from $2,000 to $5,000. A hearse can range from around $325. A burial vault, which is, those giant concrete boxes, caskets for your casket, is $1,395, and this is all in US. I couldn't find the prices for Canada. Flowers can range from $500 to $700. A burial plot can range from $1,000 to $4,000, and I'm guessing this is why it was so hard with headstones for you, because headstones and grave markers costs anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000.
No, not when I was in business.
How much were they?
You get a headstone total complete into the cemetery for about $400.
Dang, those prices went up.
Here, look back.
Yep.
The flowers are way out of whack. 500 to 700 flowers can anywhere range whatever the florist charge. That could be anywhere from $50 to whatever. Burial price, $1,000 to $4,000. Right to today's market, yeah.
A hearse.
Hearse,
$325.
Not. All of that I used to do for $1,575.
See, that's why people are now starting to understand that they should probably call up to 5 different funeral homes because they can actually save thousands in dollars.
Basic service fee, $2,000 was out of whack. Body transport, $325. That's within reason at today's gas prices. Bombing, take-up transport, that's $1,500. Service fee is $1,575 plus the casket, plus anything else they wanted, like flowers, obituary notices, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The casket was on top of the $1,575 I used to charge. The casket could range from anywhere from $435 15 years ago
So in other words,
to $6,000 to $7,000, depending on what you wanted.
yeah. So it's like if you wanted a very elaborate funeral, it would cost a lot more. But if you wanted a basic funeral, it shouldn't cost like up to $20,000.
I buried people in plywood boxes for a hell of a lot less than what these guys are charging.
Now, saving money. A lot of people are starting to do DIY stuff, so a lot of funeral homes are no longer offering, well, they'll offer packages, but they won't just offer packages.
No, they offer itemized statements out and you list.
Yeah.
And you choose out of that list of what you want, and that's what's going to cost you.
Yeah. Some people choose to just get the embalming done and, take it to a conservation burial site, or choose to get a willow casket, which is a lot cheaper and it's biodegradable. And a lot of people can't bargain because of griever's brain. Have you come in contact with griever's brain before, where people are kind of like, whatever, I'll take the price?
Yeah.
So, yeah, griever's brain and why you pay such a large funerary costs, it's basically just because you want to get it over with.
Want.
Yeah.
I don't want to get it over with. They do.
Yeah. Guilt tripping in the funeral industry. Do you believe that that's a thing?
Not really, the guys I know of.
Okay. Do you agree? What about the fact there are some people who will charge more for caskets that are kind of like, okay, well, here you go, you get all of this. And then this is like, it's the same casket, just less, and they're like, oh, well, this casket is garbage. I know that happens in the States. The dead body stigma. Dead bodies are dangerous to the public. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your take on it?
Treat it with respect. Treat it with caution, because you don't know what they died from.
Okay, now here's a fun fact, is that scientific research has recently come up in recent years saying that pathogens within a dead body last very, very, very short amounts of time. So within probably hours to slight days of death, the body will be completely fine.
No.
Really, what do you think of that?
Don't.
And what if
If a body died of a disease of some sort, that disease stays within that body for at least 48 hours, if not longer.
Interesting. And some research was done at a cemetery that turns out that the water was more contaminated with formaldehyde than any diseases that were found within the body.
I don't know, depending on the drainage system of the cemetery.
That's true. Now, regular cemeteries, you've been to them, of course. That's where we went. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to a cemetery on underdeveloped land, or known as a conservation burial site?
Yeah, Indian cemeteries.
Have you ever dealt with funerals where it was on the person's property?
No,
No. At sea, what about at sea burials? No? Okay.
just ashes.
Okay.
They take them themselves and bury them. They throw them overboard themselves, family.
Now, a bio-urn. What they're doing now is they're putting the ashes in with seeds, and then they plant it, and then it grows a tree.
No,
Green burial pods is where they put the entire cadaver in this giant pod, and then they grow a tree with
never
it.
had them when I was in business.
No. Shrouded burial, where there's no embalming done, there's no cremation or any of that. It's just the person's placed in a shroud.
Yeah, I've done one or two of those in my lifetime.
Eternal reefs. People can be buried, well, not buried, but their body is placed in a coral reef system.
No, I haven't done that.
Now, this is interesting. If I can find my notes for it. There it is. Yeah, that's Unit 5. Notes. There we go. Because now we're going to talk about statistics of all this fun stuff. Over 4 million acres of forests are cut down to make caskets every year.
I have no idea.
Over 115 tons of steel are used as well. 2 billion tons of concrete is used to make burial vaults. And I just lost my space.
Burial vaults, as you say, concrete, are all supplied by the city or the municipality that owns the cemetery. Funeral homes have nothing to do with that.
Okay. And then, of course, 800,000 gallons of formaldehyde is used every year to cremate. Or not cremate, embalm.
That'd be Canada-wide.
Yeah. It is, so we're going to do some myth busting, and you have to tell me whether or not it's true. It is illegal to not be embalmed.
So it's not in BC.
Dead bodies are dangerous.
Yeah. Hold on to diseases.
Embalming makes dead bodies safer.
Yes.
Dead bodies will contaminate groundwater.
Depend on where they're at.
You have to be buried in a coffin and a burial vault, etc.
Not necessarily in BC. No,
Death planning is morbid.
not really. People get what they want.
Now, the funny thing is I'm going to, because I did research on this, and yes, it's true. It's not illegal to not be embalmed.
Well, don't have to.
Yeah.
Not in British Columbia.
Again, dead bodies aren't dangerous. It's perfectly normal in some cultures to just have your loved one just standing up, like
In
not
the corner?
necessarily. Yeah, in some cultures, that's what people do. Or they'll put the body to bed and they'll dress it up every morning before they bury it. Embalming makes dead bodies safer. Wrong. It actually makes them more toxic because of all the formaldehyde. If it was mellification, where they replace embalming fluid with honey, then it would be a lot safer.
Well, I mean, fluid. Formaldehyde, dialdehydes used in embalming fluid kills diseases.
But it also, is extremely cancerous. And it's a huge cancer causer.
It's hard on your lungs. I know that for sure.
Dead bodies do not they don't contaminate groundwater much.
Depending on where the cemetery is. If the cemetery is in a low-lying area, yeah, probably might. The cemetery might. But if it's on the hillside or whatnot, it's dry ground, it won't bother anybody.
You have to be buried in a coffin? No, you don't.
No.
Death planning is morbid? No, it's not. I'm doing death planning. And why aquamation isn't legal in British Columbia?
I have no idea.
The Catholic Church.
Whatever.
And the reason is the same reason why they didn't like fire and brimstone
Dogans got
cremation.
into it again.
Huh?
The Dogans got into it again.
But that's why they don't like it, because it's like, well, how could you do that to your own family member, just
That all
flushing it down
depends
the
on
drain?
the minister or the priest in the Catholic Church and what his personal views are of it.
That's true.
I buried or cremated a lot of Catholics.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you think we can provide an eco-friendly alternative to death?
I have no idea.
That's fair.
Cremation.
And I'm interviewing you right now. What is something you want to do when planning your death? What is the essentials?
My essentials? You gotta have vital statistics. You gotta have a burial permit or a cremation permit from the government to do so. So you can get your death certificates. What I want to do, burned and put my ashes out in the kootenais, which has already been prearranged.
Oh, you've already gotten the entire package and all that, or no?
No, that's where I want my ashes to go,
Okay.
out of the cabin.
At the cabin? Okay, cool. I know where to dump your ashes now. Well, not dump them, but kind of arrange them like
Yeah.
pretty little
Well,
sparkles.
you can be there, but Jason has, he's the executor, he's already been notified. That's where they go.
That's fair. Make sure he takes me though.
So,
He has to. That must be a thing. That's